Hey guys, it's AK Geek here. Got a video for you today discussing budget optics versus iron sights for home defense. Now, this may generate some heated discussion in the comments, but that's a good thing. I'm wanting to hear your guys' feedback on it. Mainly what I've been thinking about the past couple days, and kind of a conclusion I've reached is this. If you're running a budget style red dot for home defense, whether it be something like this Bushnell TRS-25 or a primary arms microdot, I am of the opinion that you should not be relying on that as your home defense sighting system of choice. And if you're looking at something in the budget range, I would say you should just stick with the basic iron sights of your rifle instead of relying on a budget optic. Now, hear me out. I do have a case for this. Here's the deal. When it comes to budget optics, many of them have come a long way, especially from comparing now to, let's say about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even longer. Let's say about 10 years ago. The red dot technology was nothing like it is today. To get a decent red dot, you definitely would have had to spend, 300 and up for sure. But nowadays there are plenty of good budget optics out there, right? Ones that are very durable and retain zero and all that stuff, right? And that's most certainly the case. Like, for example, one I got right here. This is a Bushnell TRS-25. It is a pretty affordable red dot that's been on the market for a number of years, and it's very reliable, very, durable. These things have been beaten to ever living heck and back. There's plenty of videos out there showing that. They work, they retain zero. They're great, and they're pretty good for accuracy too. Like, I'm running this on Aim Sports AK side rail mount, and I've reached out to 200 plus yards hitting a 6-inch steel gong, fairly consistently from my marksman skills with a basic AK-74, and it works great for that, being on the range and all sorts of stuff. But here's the deal. While that's great in terms of basic red dot advantages there is a serious weakness to red dots like this, and it's this: battery life. Because here's the deal. When it comes to a home defense scenario, you want as simple of a fighting system as you can, because in that type of scenario, waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, barely awake, and someone's trying to kick your door in, and adrenaline's pumping and all that stuff, you want to have a very simple system that is as foolproof as physically possible. Because here's one of the deals is, the batteries in these, well, they're pretty good for certain. I think the factory battery life on like the medium setting on this is like 18,000 hours, which is pretty good. But I am of the opinion, as we're going out through our day-to-day lives, we're not thinking of counting hours on our red dots, are we? And it's one of those things that it's kind of a fear in my mind, if in that kind of life or death scenario, is my battery still powered? Is it still good enough? That's kind of a crap hits the fan scenario that I would not want to have to deal with in a life or death situation, is my optic's not on because the battery died. You know what I'm saying? This isn't an aim point, this isn't a Trijicon that can last for 3 to 5 years just on the single battery medium brightness setting. It isn't that. So what I would recommend to you guys, if you're running budget optics, I would recommend that when it comes to home defense, where things are, you need something that's very fast and is ready to go immediately out the door, ready to go, I recommend you run irons, because you don't have to worry about that risk of, hey, is my battery on? You don't have to worry about battery life or anything like that. And there are good techniques you can use, and this doesn't just apply to the AK. Like, for example, again, I ran that Bushnell on this rifle here. It's just a basic Bulgarian AK-74, and it works great. But the issue being is, for home defense, though, I don't really want to rely on that battery life to protect me or my family. That's just a fact. Not saying the quality of the optic isn't good, it most certainly is. It's not at that standard. If the standard battery life could last for a year or 2 years, then I'd be game. But it's not, because here's the deal: these irons are here, these sights are here. They come with the rifle. They are always on, in a manner of speaking. They're very durable. I don't have to worry about these failing me like I do an electronic sighting system. And again, I want to make the disclaimer: in this video, I'm not arguing that irons are better than red dots in terms of speed, precision, all that. No, they're not. But in terms of reliability, these are better. and these are always there, especially for the price range that you're going for. These are going to work better for you if you're not willing to spend the money on a more name brand, high value, high performance red dot. Let's just say that way. There are good techniques to use on these because you can get pretty good with irons. Well, certainly, guys have been doing it for years. That's kind of an art that in recent years people have kind of lost, is the ability to run irons effectively and efficiently. There are good ways to do it, like the caveman red dot technique. That works great for home defense scenarios of like, between 5 to 15 yards. That'll work for you. So I recommend that you guys train with your irons, get good with them. That is something to take into consideration, and that's kind of the general gist. That's kind of my case. If you're running budget optics, I do not recommend you run them for home defense. You want to run them through a class, or go hunting with them, or go to the range of them. That's totally cool. For home defense, though, I recommend you run irons. So if you guys disagree with me, or if you agree with me, or if you think I'm crazy, leave a comment down below. I'm really curious to see what your guys' opinion is on this. This is something that's been bouncing forth back in my brain for a little while. And so, as always, guys, this has been the AK Geek signing off, and I hope all of you have a fantastic day.